Greetings, dear ones. I'm Cryon of Magnetic Service. Today, I wish to speak about something that most channelers will not say. In review, there are societies on this planet who've had what I call a head start. Advanced information right from the beginning. We've spoken of them in the past. The most significant, of course, was Lemuria. We also told you that Lemuria only contains one lifetime of an old soul, not many. It's almost like a training ground, where the old soul then reincarnates in other parts of the planet. We talked about the ancients who also had advanced knowledge. In different parts of this planet, the indigenous still carry it today. Their mythology talks about a God that allows you to come back many times. This then became the belief systems of the Hindu, the Tibet, the Buddhists. So many had these concepts that were beautiful about a human soul that was magnificent and could return. Dear ones, this is also the culture and the belief, even in its rawness, in its beginning. This was the intuitive belief of Egyptians. Now, when you speak of Egypt, you have to define what part and what time. So I will say ancient Egypt. For dear ones, this culture is 5,000 years old. What about the very, very beginning? When the king who decided to throw away the other gods and consider one God. And then as you take a look, even in the museums and in the temples, a tremendous emphasis on the afterlife. Preparing for the afterlife so that there would be an appropriate return. That is advanced. In a previous channel, we also ask you not to confuse that which is enlightenment with consciousness. For enlightenment is intuitive, but consciousness, that has to be learned. So it's possible to have a culture which is working on advanced divine planning and at the same time have a low consciousness. Again, enlightenment on the things of God come intuitively. Consciousness advances with free choice, and that has to be learned. Why am I telling you all this? Well, now let's start it. I want to talk about the Akash. The Akash is defined as the record of past life energies in every single human being. We have spoken of the Akash for years. We've told you about it in so many ways, and are now going to influence you yet again in what might be contained in your Akash, dear human being. What brings you here? Right here. We are sitting all together next to the pyramids. And the pyramids will be visited shortly. But what brings you here? Is it fascination with history? Or is it more? I want to ask you a question. Have you noticed something about esoteric people around the world? Most of them, who then are aware of their Akash, claim some kind of Egyptian lifetime. Did you know that? They come here so often, in such great quantities, that there actually have been rules passed regarding them. They will get into the chamber and they want to chant and sing and open portals and fix things. They want to make the pyramid different because they're there. This is so common that the Egyptian government has banned celebration and ceremony of any kind in the pyramid. You see, your reputation precedes you. And here you are again. Why is this? Why is the Akash so alive with Egypt? And why is it that you're so attracted to those structures that you want to go in and do things inside them? And now I'll tell you. What are the odds, old soul, that you have passed through the Egyptian culture on this planet? And I will tell you, the odds are tremendous that you exactly what you've done. If not once, twice, maybe many times. Here's the reason. Why do we call you light workers? Because, old soul, you work in the light. You work with the light. This Egyptian culture, at the beginning, is one of the only ones to mention temples of light, stairways to heaven, for the common man. You are here, many of you. And what you have in your Akash is a remembrance of that. Not of life in Egypt, not of royalty, maybe not even of mysticism. But you remember the light. You remember working in societies that honored the Akash. Now let me explain something about the Akash. Nowhere in the Akash is what we would call chapter and verse of exactly when, where, why, and how your life's purpose unfolded. Instead, the Akash gives you energy. The Akash is quantum. We have mentioned this before in our discussions of Atlantis, telling you there were many Atlantises, but the energy in your Akash may only summarize them as one. So you will say, I'm from Atlantis. And it won't tell you which one, or why you think that, or what year it was. And the same is true with the overwhelming propensity for New Age believers to think that they were in Egypt. Most were, including the one who sits in the chair. And therefore, you start to awaken and resound specifically with the mysticism you feel here. Remember that an esoteric thinker is always out of the box of linearity, thinking more in a quantum state about the esoterics of themselves and God. Remember that, because that then will bias them to be over-esoteric when they come here. What do esoteric people want to do? Spread light. open portals and change things wherever they go. So here is my advice to you. For those of you who make it into the chamber and wish to go there, I want you to sense something in reverse. I don't want you to open portals because they've been opened, believe me. I don't want you to do ceremony. It's seen it. It doesn't need it. The very rock in there rings with hundreds of years of you coming and doing this. No, this one's different. I want you to go in, and I want you to sit and absorb what it has for you. Absorb those who have been there before. Absorb the knowledge that they believed in the afterlife. Let it speak to you. Don't speak to it. Let me reveal something to you. Why is Sekhmet black? Why is the statue black? Why? When none of the others are black. They're in beautiful stone, light-colored and painted. And Sekhmet is black and in the dark. What does this mean to you? And I will tell you, light worker, she has been waiting for you. And everything you have, she absorbs. She is absorbing every bit of light. One by one, you walked into that room, and she's black because she absorbs the light of the temple of the human being. She is the master teacher. She is one of many, but she is the only one who has no color, absorbing that which you broadcast. This is something this planet needs right now. It's a circle back to the beginning of creation, returning the light that was given to you, you are giving back. What if I told you that this light goes right into the crystalline grid and does other things as well? That is what you have seen in this trip so far. And that is why she has no color. Isn't it odd? One of the most powerful would have no color at all. In a culture of color. I have said many things in this channel that you need to hear again. Here are your instructions when you go to the chamber. Respect, honor the ancients and the ancestors, and sit and listen to what they have to say to you. And so it is.